friends, neighbors, Minoans, Mycenaean Greeks. It's time for Bingo is Life. The podcast.
Well,
got the skeleton crew here tonight. I'm still Jay's heir.
Hey.
For at least a few more years.
Welcome back, Jay, by the way.
Thank you.
We missed you last week.
Had a fun trip to Charlottesville.
Nice.
UVA Medical Center.
How's the food there?
Pretty good. And the one person I know in Charlottesville I met at the cafeteria.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it was one of those coincidences Mike doesn't believe in. It's just statistically. Talk about Mike Hattishell over here.
Oh, yes.
Across the table. And Chris Hattishell.
Hey.
The hosts with the most. And we have, what we're going to hang off? We have
That's right. We
one
got a guest
more
coming.
person here tonight.
Ooh, who's it going to be? It's like a surprise. I can't wait.
Somebody was really upset they didn't win bingo on the way out when I was coming
Really?
here. I said, "Did you win?" Like, no.
It wasn't a kid, was it?
No, it was
an adult.
An adult.
They can handle it.
Okay.
They've gotten this far in their lives.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat is pretty strong in this crowd.
Oh, man.
I mean, there's a lot of thrill and there's some agony.
We had some tears. We had tears tonight. Yeah.
That's why I asked if it was a kid.
Was it another? Did you break another child's heart?
We
Mike?
did.
It wasn't me. It was the fates of the numbers.
Yeah.
Or
not our fault.
Or an airplane. I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, bingo accurately represents this cruel reality we live in.
It's true. It's all random, and some people win twice. What?
That's
How
right.
is that even possible?
It seems wrong.
Oh, I should say the best part of the evening for me was two people won the last game. There was a chance to win $150, and I set up 2 cups with 2 ping pong balls and said, whoever hits it first wins.
And I thought we were going to be there for like 10 minutes
Me
waiting
too.
for them to do
100%. And the kid, first shot, hits it.
shot.
Where was it set up? At the end of the bowling lane?
I know. It's just like at where we are, just where I am hosting the show at. We just put a cup and gave him a ping pong ball, and that kid hit it
Instantly.
And the dude who lost was like, "That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes."
It was from 8 feet away. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty.
It was a hard shot. Mm-hmm. And that kid was young. I was like, you're going to do great in college.
That might have been the peak of his life.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from here.
Fun fact, that kid and his brother also both won in bingo tonight.
That's right. They did.
Yeah,
Are you sure that wasn't fixed by the
family of winners?
The Fridley's Gap Mafia?
Yeah, I'm pretty. Ooh, the Friedley.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
You know what?
Yeah.
We had a good night tonight.
We did. It was
But
very
guess
good.
what? We got an even better guest right now.
Ooh.
Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Hi, Mallory. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
It's so good to see you. All the way from the Hot Mamas in Staunton, Virginia. Staunton, right?
Yeah, we're all in Stanton.
All
the
in
hot
Staunton.
mamas.
Everybody, everybody. Yay! Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. And it was wild watching you guys do that. I didn't even know this place. I've never been inside here.
Oh, it's a weird place.
I've listened to the podcast numerous times, and so I was just imagining, what is Ruby's Arcade?
Now you've
I
seen
had
it.
no idea.
It's
Like-
just a basement
Yeah.
in downtown historic Harrisonburg. What is this building again?
You do
Wine
the
Brothers.
Wine Brothers.
Wine Brothers building.
That's, well, maybe that's what the sign says. We've just been saying that for the last year.
It might as well be the Clay Clark building, really.
Well, you can come play ping pong with me sometime in there. You want to play ping pong?
Yeah.
Are you any good?
No, I'm not good at any games or sports, but I love to talk smack.
You're
That's what I'm very good at.
But you grew up in Harrisonburg, right? Or
In Keezletown proper.
Keezletown. Ooh. Did you ever go to the oyster roast?
No, who had an oyster roast in Keezletown?
You know, the guys who...
They're
The
no
guy
longer,
with the teepee?
they're no longer with us.
I remember dancing in the asparagus fields under the full moon by that teepee out in Keezletown. Near where that
was
car
teepee,
is.
Paul? Clyde and Margie had the oyster roast, and their son is...
No longer with us?
No, he's here all the time. He's a famous... It's the Luthier.
Oh, the Luthier. I
hope he's not listening because I know his name.
Okay.
It's gone. It's gone.
Okay.
It's back at the Bronze Age collapsed in the back of my brain. Where are my notes? Where's Brittany?
So there was an asparagus field. Is that?
There used to be this, like, out in Keezletown. I don't remember what road it's on, but there's like an old tree that grew through an old car.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right,
Lots of people know where that is. And then somewhere near there, there's like a big asparagus field.
I remember the tree through the car.
Yeah.
Is that gone now?
I don't know. I haven't been there in a while.
Heisey is the name.
And there was a teepee. Lots of hippies dancing under the fence.
That's
right.
TP Paul. That's got to be TP Paul.
That sounds like it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the nickname TP Paul and someone's saying there's a
not like-
TP.
Yeah.
But like the
Yeah,
shape,
the
the building,
yeah.
not like toilet paper.
No,
Yeah,
no,
right.
no. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. It was a TP. He's
Well,
like,
right
that's
next
my
to it, oddly
TP.
enough, there's a big building built out of toilet paper. So
Keezletown's a wild place.
it's
Oh.
crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Asparagus for all.
It does have a couple of great names of roads. What isn't there like? It's like Happy Ending Road or something like that. What is-
Happy ending.
That's the massage parlor up by the truck stop near the interstate. Chris, holy smokes!
What is it?
I guess we should have talked about the rule. I don't know all the rules of what we can and can't say.
Dude, you can't say what I just said. We're going to freak that one out.
I think we're like a PG.
PG.
They have
That
the-
was PG. We're
They
fine.
have the blueberry farm in Keezletown.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
No, you got to know the blueberry farm. It's the Johnson, Samuel
That's
Johnson.
right.
He started the farmers market.
Okay.
They have the big blueberry farm out there.
Well, I
The
haven't
Hannah.
lived in Keezletown in
Oh.
20, 30 years.
So
So
switching,
I
You're expecting a lot here.
stayed up to date with it, to be honest.
switching to that subject, which give us the Staunton versus Harrisonburg.
Oh, I've been noticing that there's like
We believe in a happy balance between the two.
Yeah, I think it's been really interesting. So I grew up in Harrisonburg, in Keezletown, and I lived away from Virginia for decades, and then I never thought I'd ever return, and here I am in Staunton, Virginia. I
Keep
live
pulling them back.
But I think it's been really cool seeing how like the arts, how collaborative things are, and seeing how the different towns have their own identity, but like they do mingle together. I think it's so great, all the different options we have too. Like growing up around here, there wasn't but so much you could do. You had to rent that VFW hall if your high school band wanted to play a show.
That's right.
I mean, there was the Dodger and the Grill. That was it.
Totally.
Were you a
100%.
musician in high school? Did you play?
Yeah, I've always been singing. So
Did you do
choir.
the open mic at the little grill?
I
Back
used
in
to
those
cry on
days?
that stage
You used
so
to
much.
Cry.
Oh, I ran
About
off
what?
of that stage crying so many times.
Because you felt
Because I was really nervous because I'd been singing my whole life, but learning to play an instrument outside of my body was really new and scary.
This was in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And you cried. I remember seeing you cry.
I ran as fast as I could. You might not have seen me. Just blur.
Out into the parking lot.
What?
Tears
I bet I saw you in a musical at Spotswood.
I was in lots
yeah.
of musicals.
Yeah,
I was.
what would you?
I
what were
was
you in?
Dorothy in the all-white rural version of The Wiz that we did in 1995. My dog Snowball was Toto. She also
Wow.
was white. Yeah. So, but we did that show. We did Godspell
Good.
the year or so before that. That was just a really fabulous cast. And it's been neat to see the people that are still doing a lot of theater and things here. I feel lucky to have grown up here when I did.
Yeah.
Organizations like Shut in Arts has had a major impact on so many people, and it's really neat to like see that from afar and then to get to come back and
Yeah.
see the productions they're doing still here.
Jay, do you do stuff with Shannon Arts at all?
I did. I played Elwood P. Dowd and Harvey down there.
Okay,
And
great.
I think I probably did a few other things.
It is.
it's-
I've seen a couple good shows down there. They do a fantastic job.
Yeah, they've got Cabaret coming up soon.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And they did that one a couple of years ago too.
we'll have to get Matt Parrish in here to talk about it at some point.
Yeah.
Tell us about playing jazz in the streets of New Orleans.
Oh, I know.
Ooh.
What a magical experience.
What do you mean? You've had enough about Keezletown already?
Yeah.
Now you want to talk about jazz?
Unless you know something about the mysterious cryptoids running around.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in New Orleans. Everything is mysterious.
Yes.
pretty weird for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I fell in love with that place. I worked there for my regular day job. They moved me there, and I was so ecstatic. But I was in the Navy band there, so I was singing national anthems and wearing a sailor suit and all that stuff as a day job. But the Navy base was actually like 45 minutes away from town, and I couldn't. I was like, I'm not going to go live in the swamp when I'm like here. So I lived in the French Quarter and various parts of New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah, and so every day as soon as I'd get off of work, I'd just go busk and hang out with my friends
Whoever
play
happened to
music
be
in the
around, yeah.
streets, and
Oh,
it was
that's awesome.
glorious. But it was interesting learning how to street sing, like really, like how to get the like low notes and how to like really learn to. It was definitely like I had to learn.
What do you mean the low notes?
Like, because naturally I'm a like lyric soprano, like operatically and whatnot, and I've developed my low sound, but having a microphone helps.
Right. So
Why
you have to
amplify
project
that.
while you're.
Why did you have to have a low sound for street songs?
Well, for me, I wanted to sing in that register, but I didn't have as much power there because naturally I'm more of a soprano, and that's where my belty power.
So women want to try to sing lower and men want to sing higher? Is that?
Well, there's lots of women that are altos,
Yeah.
and maybe their belt or their power would be down there, but mine just happens to be up higher.
Gotcha.
So
And
I
you
had-
were able to figure it out?
Did you have a coach, or was it just something you just figured out over time?
Nah, just if it hurts,
Yep.
stop.
Yeah, right.
Try something different.
Yeah.
I'm pretty terrible about like people are like, do you teach voice lessons? And I'm like, I don't know how I do what I do.
You know, I've never been to New Orleans. Yeah, it's
Well, it's still above water.
It seems like the kind of place I would like to. I would like maybe wait until my kids are old enough to like drink or something.
Even
I
even
don't know.
just to go. I mean, the fact that like I actually just went back for the first time in far too many years, 8 years this March, and I was amazed like the amount of friends that still came out. Like I got to see like 20 something of my favorite people down there, and
Sweet.
we were in various parades because they happen all the time, and your kids would love it. Like even just if they aren't of drinking age, there's
Yeah.
still so much to do.
It's still a big music scene, a fusion of lots of styles and everything.
Yeah, for sure. And it seemed to me from talking with all my friends that are there and actively working musicians and artists that it is really still slowly kind of just like this spring, I think, was a really good spring for them. Like it was one of their busiest, the most tourists, the most gigs, the most money coming back into the city after
Oh, that's cool.
the last, 4 years we've been
Right.
through. So
Right.
yeah, some of the bigger cities aren't faring as well as like, we live in such a really cool area with all these outdoor venues and lots of places to spread out.
People are moving out of the big cities into cities like
Some-
this.
In a lot of places,
Yeah.
that's true. But yeah, New Orleans is beautiful and you should definitely go.
Now, what led you out of New Orleans?
Sadly,
Oh.
they closed the Navy Band while I was there, which
I
I always like to say that loud and proud because it was a big mistake.
When you say now, do you know Russell Shank?
I do. We
No,
met.
he was not in the same thing as you, right?
Yes, he was.
He was.
And we once got to sit at Fred Fest 2 summers ago and have about 45 minutes of conversation of who do you know? And we definitely know some of the same
Well,
people.
I was under the impression he was playing rock and roll music to try to recruit kids
That's-
into the whatever it was.
That's the job. That's the Navy Band. It's
and that's
very
what you were
weird.
doing. But that you said you were dressing up and singing the national anthem, or
Yeah, you have to do like patriotic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You also do recruiting. You support Navy balls and things like that.
did you get to sing any rock and roll music? or-
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have. It's an interesting product. They've since I think that a lot of their rock bands have now evolved more into like the brass band style thing because they can really like capitalize on that like really cool thing that Trombone Shorty and a lot of those cats are doing, where you can still do the music from the radio that the teenagers might know at the high school, but you don't have to look like a bunch of squares in your Navy uniform. Like, I think like with the horns, it makes a lot more sense.
Would Russell have been dressed up in a Navy
He
uniform?
would have been dressed up in a Navy uniform.
I would.
Can you imagine that with his hat and his long hair?
I can't. He didn't have the long hair back then, right?
No, but it's still fun to think about.
So how was it? It must be really competitive. How'd you get it? Was it hard to get in?
There was a legendary Navy recruiter in the 90s named Bob Falter that worked in this area in particular. And I like to think that I'm a pretty decent musician, but a lot of Falter recruits were known for not being really great. He kind of just like got a bunch of people into the Navy music program.
Oh, I see.
Before they had a really good system that actually.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I don't know if I were to audition today if I would get in.
What was was it voice or was there
was
an instrument
singing,
involved?
yeah.
Yes, they were singing.
Yeah, I had an actual like my NEC is a number that correlates to your instrument. So for singer,
Well, you must have been good if you were Dorothy.
She
and
was
Wizard of
great.
Oz.
Are you
I was
kidding
good.
me?
I was
Yeah.
okay, but
She's still great.
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
hear her with the hot mamas all the time and by herself. You guys are you play a lot. So is this your only gig right now? You are a touring musician right now?
yeah, I feel really lucky. I mean, that is one thing I like to sort of downplay, like the very odd nature of the military job that I did for 20 years, especially because I'm pretty anti-establishment, but it has allowed me to like have this musical life, and now I can live on my pension, and I can just play gigs, and it's pretty amazing. And I feel like everyone should have the opportunity to do their art and like not have to stress about how they're going to pay their bills, because it's kind of cool when you don't have to worry about all of that.
That's amazing.
What you can accomplish.
Yeah, and you've gotten some great gigs too.
Yeah.
I've noticed like your calendar is the Hot Mamas are playing. You've played some pretty big festivals like this summer.
Yeah, we have 2 really big ones coming up this weekend, actually, and then it'll be like the end of our summer push. We, on Friday, will be at Steppin' Out Fest in Blacksburg, so that's like a 30,000 people event. And on Sunday, we're going to go to Pennsylvania for the first time, to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They have an 11-day music festival where they shut the whole town down, and it's just stages all over the streets everywhere. So
cool.
Should be recruiting for the steel factories then.
We'll wear funny outfits.
We need more steelworkers.
Now, what's the lineup for the Hot Mamas right now? It's still Jess and Maria.
Jess and Maria, who I know you guys had on your show back in March. One of the M months.
Yes,
right.
They are still in, and we also have Jen Kidd on washboard, and she also sings and writes. And then we have Endash, Nancy Gaston.
I like her. She's from Philly.
Yeah,
Same as me. Or, I mean, outside of Philly. Kind of.
Philly people always find each other. I noticed, like, Philly people find each other.
We're all from Philly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Rock.
You got this, Rock.
You got this, Rock.
How's your writing? You coming up with a lot of stuff, or?
I am actually not writing that much anymore. Oh, no. And I did forget to mention our newest collective member is Erin Hunter. She's a violinist who also has a beautiful voice and everything too. So she played at the Purple Fiddle with us. We just played there this weekend. It was pretty rowdy. I'm a little surprised there weren't like police records or anything. Like it got a little crazy. But
I've heard stories about Purple Fiddle. Yeah.
Where is that?
It's in Thomas, West Virginia.
Like that's like a little middle of nowhere place, right?
Yeah, but it's really cool, and it has a lot of art galleries, and it's very eclectic and
the town.
It's right next to Davis.
Thomas, the dude.
No, Thomas, he just stands there selling art on the corner.
How do you get there? Which way do you go?
Well, you find Thomas, and then he points you
get
in a
on
direction.
33 and you go west.
Right.
And you just keep going until you cross like 5 mountains. Then you get on a road called 32. I'm not even making that up.
33, 32.
And then that takes you
31.
into Canaan Valley.
It's a Canaan Valley.
Yes.
That's why it's so cool.
Yeah.
Right, that's the next town over.
Yeah.
Like that's the other guy's name.
Oh, right.
Davis.
Davis.
Davis and
Thomas,
Thomas.
there's Davis.
Yeah. So I had a fun.
A bunch of biblical names over there.
I used to play there. There was a time in which I was playing, and man, that trouble. That town was the most ruckusy town. We had back in that time I was playing with this band called the Red River Roller Coaster, and we had a show that like didn't end. It just, I think we played.
It might still be going on.
I think we played till like.
I think we saw it.
We played at the Purple Fiddle.
I'm there right now.
And then they were like, everybody to this bar, and we all went to this next, and the whole crowd went to that next bar.
Well, what kind of crowd is it? Are they hippies or are they like people from West Virginia?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of locals that come out, but then I think that there's also like vacationers who are just like there for fun.
There are a lot of people that seem to own like condos in the area and come from Pittsburgh and Philly, where you're from, and they.
Well, I'm actually from Wilmington, Delaware. That's stolen valor.
All right, stolen valor.
Yeah, it's an interesting eclectic mix of people that are there.
Yeah, it's a super fun place. Though.
Tell us what instrument you write on.
Currently, my favorite instrument to write on is my 4-string banjo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you when you write? How do you come up with the melody? Do you just sing and then or are you like mechanically coming up with it, saying I need to go up a fifth? Or
I can approach it that way. I usually tend to get a melody in my head. I do enjoy the convenience of having these magic phones with recorders on them at all times.
Yep.
Like all the song ideas from 20 years ago that you lost somewhere along the way.
Yeah,
like,
right.
But
are you plucking it out or?
Usually I just am
you
singing
you
it.
just hear it in your head.
And then even I'll do like placeholders. Like if I have some lyrics that it usually comes kind of all together,
Right.
concept.
I was going to ask,
and,
lyric, melody?
yeah, they usually
together?
kind of come together. But
Together?
then I'll like leave some holes, like zoo-ba-da-dee-da, la la la, boo-ba-da-da-dee, and kind of like leave some spots to fill in later and find some words that rhyme and just chuck it in there.
Do you have a line that you were like, this is my favorite line that I sing? That
Oh no, that I wrote
sure.
I don't
Or
know.
On the
you know what?
spot.
of
You know,
all
no.
songs. That's really hard.
All right,
There's
all
so
right.
many.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to come back to it.
yeah, we'll come back to it because here's what I'm going to do. Because Mike writes as well. Mike, you got a line?
What?
Yes, that's right. I can
Oh,
put
that's
you on a-
hard. That's hard.
Come on, give me
Okay,
a
I
line.
mean, well, the one I can think of, it kind of getting into the esoteric religion of some of my lyrics was, I know I've been forgiven, but am I really saved? I always like that
Oh.
one.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That is good. All right,
I'm gonna
Jay's there. Jay's there is actually a fantastic
Yeah,
song.
that's
Let's
right.
see. I had the one that was. I dropped her off at the outskirts of Emerald City. She was wearing my last good winter coat.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I don't know if that's my best line. I had to come up with one.
Just coming up with something.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. All right, I got mine.
All right, Chris, go for it.
I
What
got
you got?
mine. I'm dedicated.
He had his
I'm
10 minute
He
dedicated.
kick.
had it.
I just came up with it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm dedicated. I'm dignified. I failed miserably, but Lord knows I've tried. Songwriting is so much fun. I love people who write songs. I love people who do. And you are a doer, Mallory. That's what I've noticed since you've been back in this town, like a force a bit.
Well, that's true.
What I appreciate is that you recorded a live album over at Clementine. I think that's awesome that you would push
And you're
forth.
spawning multiple live albums at Clementine.
That's
If
true.
people are doing.
I forgot until like my birthday this year. I was like, 2 years ago, I was on Clementine's stage releasing an album
You were the first ones that did that, right?
that I had recorded.
Good Gordon. Did Gordon do that for you?
No, I did that recording with Barricade with Gene.
Gene Bolin.
And but that was like a live private recording event at his studio there, but I released it here at Clementine for that open mic, and it was really cool to have. I'll never forget how amazing it was to have the entire place sing "Happy Birthday" to me,
Oh.
but like I'm on the stage.
Yeah,
They
right,
sang, it was
yeah.
like, thank you.
That
Well,
is
you,
good.
you also recorded it. I'm confused. You did a show at Clementine,
Yes.
right? And then who recorded that for you?
That was the one that was recorded by Gene Bolin.
Gene Bolin, gotcha.
Yeah, but I released it solo here, and that was
Gotcha.
before the Hot Mamas had just become a brand new Baby Whisper at that moment.
The baby
Just
was
a baby.
Yeah, we had our first gig like May 15th of that year, and that was July 20th. So we were already beginning our evil takeover. But
evil takeover. It starts with a baby whisper.
Let's take over.
But
I was talking to Julia, and she won the contest that you all did.
she did. She was fabulous. They were all so good. It was one of the most difficult things that any of us have ever had to do.
How'd they pick the winner?
We had a matrix, and we had
What
formula.
contest? Just so we know what we're talking about.
You tell us.
It was kind of part of the Hot Mamas live at Clementine recording thing because we also tied this in with that grant.
Right.
And it was Jess's idea to host a songwriting contest, women's
Very cool.
contest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at the very last minute, I kept saying, let's cancel this thing. It's never happening. We have no entries.
Really?
And the rest of the gals were like, calm down, Mallory. You know. And then at the very last second, all we wanted was 10 entries. And we got exactly 10 entries like at the last moment. And they were all so good. It was like unbelievable, the amount of talent in that room. And just, they were so good. And so we were grateful we had a plan.
Were you,
Yeah, that's
It was
cool.
really
were you the judges of the Hot Mamas?
we sat at a table like with pens and pencils. We felt very judgy.
7.5
We did. Yeah, we had it all charted
from
out.
the Austrian judge.
Oh, good.
It was difficult, especially when you know that
You had like a
people-
rubric and everything? Very good.
And especially when you know that they are putting like everything into it, and
Yeah,
every single
right.
one of them was a great performer.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so it was really challenging.
Well, you know what I think is interesting about those types of events, or at least I see them, especially with the things that we've done too, is like when you bring people together like that, they start making their own connections and things happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's very cool.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but I'm going to anyway since someone's listening.
Okay.
Julia told me that she won studio time as a result of that contest.
That's right.
And she talked to Gordon, and they're going to use it to do a live recording in Clementine later on this year.
That's awesome.
So
See,
Glad
there
to
you
hear
go.
that. Yay, all those connections.
The connections.
Yeah.
Positive
Gordon's
things
great.
happening.
We loved working with Gordon. He was so fabulous to work with.
he's like a
So I'm excited.
famous mountain bike rider too, isn't he?
I don't know.
No, he is. I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
He could be,
Why did you ask it as a question
I know.
then?
Like,
Well, I was
Funny thing
because I
is,
was gonna because I'm.
I was going to go with it. Like, sure, that sounds
It
right.
was like an NPR interview strategy. As soon as she said no, I said no. He could be like recording in New York or something. He could be like, but he came down here because he could record and also be
be a biker.
Be a biker, mountain biker.
Or mountain.
wow.
Yeah.
Is that the-
I have a video recording of you guys, of the Hot Mamas, when you guys played at Pale Fire, part of the Tom Petty cover night. The camera was in the right place, whatever, and it just picked up your all sound so good, and it really got all of you. Don't Do Me Like That, and I think it's a great recording of that song. And you couldn't hear a lot from that night because it was so packed unless you were in the right places. But that particular person, whoever took that
It
camera,
was Cheyenne.
Was it Cheyenne?
Cheyenne.
Oh my gosh!
Because you can hear
Hi,
her and she's
Cheyenne.
like, there's so-and-so and so-and-so.
Is that
I love you, Cheyenne.
from the
You're
little
welcome.
grill? I haven't seen her in.
She lives in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
or-
she was in town. Nakia is now back in town. I'm bragging on like some of my favorite people that all like came
Yeah.
at night. Stephanie Van Hensley was in town, like a bunch of our old girl gang, and Corey was playing that show, but so
Yes.
she was hanging out too. So we had like a bunch of our high school cool girls.
Yeah.
Leah
I
Whitty
saw
was
all you
there.
guys.
Like yeah,
Aw, that's so
Oh.
cool.
but yeah.
You were probably breaking little boys' hearts all over Harrisonburg and Rockingham County for years.
Chances are pretty good.
Are any of them doing Rolling Stone?
Oh yeah, you guys are doing the Rolling Stone thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited about
okay.
that one too.
September
It's fun.
9th.
September 9th.
Well, now, were you able to find a song that was not offensive lyrically? Some people are complaining about that.
We found a song that'll work for us, but 5 minutes before I slept on it. Like I should have sent a message to you about 5 minutes before I did, because I think, speaking of Russell Schenck, I think that they got the song that we really wanted.
She's a rainbow.
Hey, we're supposed to be keeping it secret.
Oh shoot! Yeah, we are. Oh well.
You didn't hear
That
anything.
never happened.
Yeah.
But,
That was
but yeah.
that was back from the Rolling Stones when they briefly were in the psychedelic realm.
Yeah. Well, that show's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We're pushing it. There's like 26 songs in one night. It's gonna be a long.
Like trying to fit all that in.
Yeah, it's
Right.
gonna be a big day.
I don't know
gonna
how you
be-
do it.
I mean, it'll be fine.
How many? How many
I'm
was
just hoping we can
the
keep
last time?
track
How
of
many
it.
was it?
I think it was 24. So there's two more songs. And honest to goodness, last time felt like fine. So I'm thinking this time will feel.
Tell us about your homemade instruments in the Hot Mamas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever make any? You always.
I don't make my own instruments.
I've seen you playing some like a cool homemade something or other, like
Yeah,
plastic bass or.
Mike Chiarello is one of my lifelong oldest friends. Our parents almost married twice. Like we've always like inspired each other
Whoa.
musically.
Wait a minute, who almost got married?
Mike Chiarello's mom and
Yeah.
my dad almost married each other twice.
Twice.
Yeah,
So you could be the same person, maybe.
It's, but we've always like both really been into music, and like again, growing up around here, there were only so many things to support that, and as original music
Right.
especially. So, but yeah, I know that he's done a lot of luthier work, and he was looking for like more ways to get creative with that, and I think he had been stockpiling random bits of trash.
Yes.
And I was looking for some sort of alternative to an upright bass because I really can't afford one. And I was hoping that the resonator of the jug would be enough to carry, but it does need a pickup in it. So I do have one now. But yeah, Mike Chiarello made that. And he has since made a lot of really cool stuff. So if you guys know like him on Facebook or whatever, definitely check out his really cool.
I can.
He is a really good guitar player. He's doing like this Michael Hedges kind of stuff now. That my memory of him was more. He was more, I guess, more of a metal or a heavier sound.
Well, he can do that stuff, but he's always like done really cool acoustic. Cocky King is, I know, one of his big influences.
And I hadn't
definitely
been to open mic for a long time, and I went there, and I just missed him. You know, he'd come down and play because he's in Waynesboro, right?
Yeah, the Dooms.
What's that?
Dooms, Virginia.
Oh,
it's right outside. Right outside.
Is that where the apocalypse is going to start?
If anyone's from the cool place, like that's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, it sounds really cool.
Yeah. Oh man! So how was playing the Foundry?
That was wild, especially because it was a brunch gig.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So it was like, hi, it's daytime and we're playing brunch, but you're all very far away. But it was really neat, and they were super great and kind to us there. The sound was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Put our logo up on stage.
Yeah,
So cool,
right.
you
That's
know?
good.
How many
Yeah.
people did the people show up?
Yeah, we had a decent crowd because it's a new series that they're doing. They're doing this like brunch Sundays.
Mom Shackles came,
thing.
right?
I think she was going to, and I think something happened because I don't remember seeing her there. But yeah, we had a decent turnout, especially because it is a newer thing they're trying to bring folks in on Sundays. So
I'm hoping we get somebody from there too to come here. Talk to us a little bit. I hope.
Yeah, they've got so much. They're like doing so much. And so that whole weekend, that was my birthday weekend. I ended up spending I almost lived at the Foundry that weekend.
Oh, wow.
On Friday, I went to AB's birthday party with Mike Dillon playing. And Mike Dillon, if you don't know, is just this unbelievable like mallet player. Like he's a percussionist, but he plays, like xylophone and all this. And he's just phenomenal, and it's as weird as it sounds and really great.
That's cool.
So definitely when he comes back around, you should go to that.
All right.
But I saw that, and then I took my daughter to a Taylor Swift cover band thing on Saturday.
Fun.
And that was adorable. And seeing like your kid fall in love with music in those moments, don't make me weep. But it was really.
Are you the only hot mama who's an actual mama?
Nope, we actually have 3 now.
Oh, you have 3.
Yeah, our numbers are growing.
Mamas.
Mama.
Hey, you know what? We have reached our time.
Oh,
I know it goes by so fast.
So quick.
But thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Y'all
I'm
are
glad
so
you
fun.
could be a part of it.
We didn't even get to do the unexpected notion with the.
Dan's not here. How can we unexpectedly?
Dan's not here.
Well, I really look forward to seeing what you will be doing over the next couple months.
Thanks.
And look for the Hot Mamas. What's the next gig? What's the absolute next one?
Well, we have these couple festivals coming up, and then we're sort of like pulling back from our summer major push. But we really, 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 really want to make a record this winter. And right now we have a lot of different ideas about how we might approach that, and they're all super top secret. So
Good.
we're figuring it out.
You know what though?
Good deal.
When you make that record, come back.
Come back and share.
We'll talk about it.
Cool.
We'll talk about the record. We can even like play a couple of the songs.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be
That would
fun.
be super cool. Love that. And absolutely, thank you so much for being here. Jay, you want to say goodbye?
So I've been letting Dan wrap it up, and he says a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's really
You've been
good.
listening to Bingo is Life, the podcast, brought to you by Ruby's Arcade in historic and tropical downtown Harrisonburg. And
Truth.
come see these young men do the extravaganza Bingo is Life, 7:30 almost every Tuesday.
Yeah.
For the last 7 years, and listen to us anytime you want to on the internet. See you next time, kids.
So long.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers Howdeshell and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.